Hey, welcome to our Trend Intelligence series from The Concept Artisan. In this explainer, we're going to be diving deep into the trends that are totally reshaping the future of hospitality.
Okay, picture this. What if the next mind-blowing recipe you try wasn't actually created by a human chef, but by an algorithm? It sounds like sci-fi, but we are right on the edge of a huge culinary revolution. And, you guessed it, artificial intelligence is the main ingredient. So, what does this AI-powered future of food really look like? Let's get into it.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we'll check out what we're calling the new creative kitchen. Then, we'll look at innovation by the numbers. After that, we'll see what AI on the menu actually looks like, understand the strategic advantage, and wrap up with the really important part, humanity in the algorithm.
Okay, first up, the new creative kitchen. So what on earth are we even talking about when we say AI-driven culinary innovation?
Yeah, this is so much more than just, robots flipping burgers. It's really about using AI to completely rethink the entire dining experience. Think about it. A menu that literally changes based on the weather outside, or a wine pairing that's suggested just for you because the system remembers what you loved last time. That's the kind of power we're talking about here.
And a trend like this doesn't just pop up out of thin air. It's being pushed forward by a few key things. We've got massive growth in AI tech for kitchens, a huge consumer demand for dining that feels personal, a ton of investment flooding into food tech startups, and all these new AI platforms that can actually develop recipes.
Okay, let's move on to section 2, innovation by the numbers. Because honestly, the data really proves this isn't some niche idea or a far-off future. It's a huge market shift happening right now.
Okay, get this. Just for 2024, the market size for AI in the food and beverage industry is already $10.8 billion. That's a staggering number. I mean, to put that into perspective, that is a massive industry. This is definitely serious business.
And it's not like it's slowing down anytime soon. We're looking at a projected growth rate of nearly 30% every single year between now and 2030. I mean, that's not just growth, that's an absolute explosion.
And you might think this is just for fast food chains, right? But no, by the end of 2023, 28%, that's more than a quarter, of fine dining restaurants had already adopted AI tools. We're talking about the places that are usually all about tradition and craft. It just shows they see the potential to enhance what they do, not replace it.
Now, what's really interesting here is looking at the visual. I mean, look at that jump from just 7% in 2020 to 28% in 2023. That is a 4 times increase in just 3 years. It's a super clear signal that even the most traditional parts of the industry are getting on board.
All right, so we've looked at the big numbers. Now let's get practical. How is this technology actually being used today? Let's dive into some real-world examples.
And it's pretty amazing how diverse the applications are. You've got Sweetgreen with its infinite kitchen, basically a robotic assembly line for precision and less waste. Then there's The Preacher's Son, a restaurant using an AI chatbot called Becca to help you with drink pairings. Kura Sushi has little Kirby robots delivering food, which frees up staff. And even Chipotle is using an AI assistant to streamline hiring. It's really touching every part of the business.
Okay, so this is all really cool, but let's talk strategy. Why does this actually matter for your business? How do you turn this tech into a real competitive advantage?
So, a really solid AI strategy has 4 key pillars. First is design, thinking about adaptive kitchens and interactive dining spaces. Second, your menu, making it dynamic and data-driven. Third is service, using AI for things like personalized recommendations. And finally, your brand, positioning yourself as a forward-thinking innovator. You really need to think about all 4 to make it work.
And look, the business impact is crystal clear. We're seeing a really high impact on both revenue and operational efficiency, which, let's be honest, is kind of the holy grail, right? It's a win-win. You make more money and your operation runs smoother. That goes straight to a healthier bottom line.
Which brings us to our final and maybe most important section, humanity in the algorithm. This is all about balancing the tech with the human touch. Because this really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? As we bring in all this tech, how do we not lose the very soul of what makes hospitality so special? And I think this quote just hits the nail on the head. AI is becoming a powerful creative assistant, not a replacement for the chef. That's the key. It's not about taking over. It's about being the best sous chef imaginable, one that can spot flavor pairings no human would ever think of, analyze what customers love, and just push the boundaries of what's possible. So really,
This is the big question we all need to be asking ourselves, especially if you're in this industry. How can we use all this amazing AI for creativity and efficiency without losing that human element? You know, the storytelling, the craftsmanship, the personal connection, all the things that actually make a meal meaningful. Because at the end of the day, the future isn't about robot chefs taking over. It's about human chefs who just happen to have some incredibly powerful new tools in their toolkit. And that's a future that's pretty exciting to think about.
And that wraps up our look at the incredible rise of AI in the kitchen.
So if you want to stay on top of trends like this, please do visit us over at www.theconceptartisan.nl. We've got a ton more insights on strategy and what's coming next in hospitality. Thanks so much for tuning in.